Good evening. Welcome to the Chase to the Underground. We are back again for another week of Chase Race Madness. And this week I'm riding solo. I'm riding solo because Lino Viasin is unable to join me this week. So it is just me, myself, and I. And I'll be holding it down. We are in here with the D's. Who are first off, as always, good number of riders this week. I'm not sure how many are. Let's just have a quick aerial view. I think there's about 15, maybe 20 D riders all in all. So this could definitely be their week. This is the shortest course that we've ever actually done on the chase race, I believe. And it means if the D's can actually stick together, like this is their best chance. That being said, it's not all smooth sailing, or at least it's not all smooth roads. As you can see right now, they are on some dirt. I mean, obviously, just like in Paris-Roubaix, just like the pros, a lot of the riders choosing not to go down the central partition and choosing to ride on the grass. Presumably it's faster, or Zwift just doesn't still know how riders should ride. Like for some reason, like there is steering. So if you have a steering device in Zwift, you can actually steer out and ride in the middle, like on the actual path. But they still set it so that if you don't have a steering device, everybody just gets put in the furthest lane over, which means it's really odd for everybody just rides on the side of the road. Anyway, let's pretend it's all tactics. So here you go. You can see all of the D's in total. 15. Bang, 15. Exactly. It's testament to how good I am at just pretend counting. Let me move my cursor out of the way. So yeah, it's a really odd like angle that I have. I think this is probably like some of the only bit of elevation pretty much on this course. It's a very flat course again. That rider there who has opted for the disc wheel, perhaps regretting that. But it will be down to the ride leader here to try and ensure that everybody tries to hold it together, stick together as a group. Again, as I said, this is probably the D's best chance ever of getting a win. So good luck, Paul. Very interesting. It's going to be Paul from Scotland in the first group in the D's versus Aaron from Scotland, who is leading the A's. So there's a high probability of the Scottish-led team winning tonight. Which one will it be? If you are watching, feel free to stick in any of your comments. Say hello in the chat wherever you are viewing from. It is always appreciated to hear from you. And if you say something interesting enough, I might just pull it out for the whole world to see. Yes. Not in that sense.
It doesn't sound good.
It doesn't sound good. Now you pointed it out. I will display your message. Perhaps is a better way of phrasing that. Okay, we're gonna hop on back and see what the C's are up to, and see if we can get a view of just how many there are. Jesus H Christ! Look at that. How many C's is that? It's like 30. Golly gosh. That is a lot. Yeah, I reckon there's about 30 riders there. So perhaps I spoke a little too soon with regards to the D's potentially getting the win, because the C's are stacked. Absolutely stacked. So we're going to watch them for a little bit. We'll just see one of the riders from the D group just being passed there. If you're listening, then try and hang on with the C's. This is going to be a great opportunity for you. There's so many of them. You can just sit at the back, try and take it easy. Great opportunity for you. Definitely my piece of advice, if you are RD who has been dropped off there, clearly they're having a couple of issues because that D rider there especially was moving incredibly slowly. Perhaps not on a smart trainer would be an obvious reason why they'd be moving that slow. And put up a better message. Yeah, does everybody know that? Everybody knows that. Yeah, so let me know your predictions already. Like, we'll hop back and we'll just see some of the other groups. So there's a couple of C's here who have actually chipped off the front. Potentially a massive error. I think probably the group though is so big that they will be gathered up again. But it's a bit early in the race. Although saying that, the C group is really split up. I'm really surprised by that, to be honest. It's not really a big incline for the group to go over. So that is a massive issue for the C's. They are basically sabotaging their own efforts at this rate. Very, very surprising, to be honest. They are going to probably catch this this C group ahead. I can see John was in the chat trying to tell everyone to regroup. Paul in the D's has just realized that there are no sweepers this week. So we figured out that we're gonna try and just use ride leaders who are in the particular categories. In the past, our riders have volunteered to basically be ride leaders. They come from all different categories, and we let them ride out of category. But we've tried to put a bit more focus on actually like having all of the riders actually in the category. And do as good a job as possible, and that does also mean that we drop the sweepers this week. So we're just trying it out. We always want to try different things, see what are the best options. One of the other things which we're going to do next week is to bring back category enforcement, just to make sure everybody is racing in the same category. And we think we've sorted that out then, but we do have enough leaders to then cover all of the necessary spots that we need. Let's hop back and just see where the D's are. Not the D's, the B's. Oh my God, so many C's. Here we are. Here's the B's. And another pretty sizable group. I don't know if that's the A's, but it can't be the A's, is it? That would be madness if that's the A group behind. But you would like to, not that I'd like to think, but you would imagine that that is some of the other B's who have just been dropped off. That is what it looks like. Yes. Okay. So there are some other B's who have just been dropped off the back here. There's Holly, who is Holly the ride? I don't think Holly is the ride leader this week, but she is in there. I'm sure she'll be very active in the chat and offering up her advice anyway to the group. She's very experienced, having led the rides for many weeks, whether it's the B's, which she did last week, or if in some of the lower categories in the past. But that's good. It does look like those B's who are off the back are going to make it back on. That'll be very important for them to have as much firepower as possible in order to stay in this race. That was just that D rider, I think, who'd fallen off. I think having some technical issues. Hop in with the A's, led by Aaron Hunt. Who's he got here? Who from Cycling Weekly? It's Hutch. Oh wow, we are graced with cycling royalty this week. Then welcome to the chase race. Well, I don't know if Aaron knows who he's got in his group here, but I'm pretty sure the Hutch is going to be able to offer up a lot of power for this group. I can see Majel at the back, just 2 seconds off the back. Oh, that's the wrong person. I don't know if they had an issue, if they had like a dropout or something. Give them like a little kudo, a ride on. Sorry, old habits die hard. I think it is. This person is going to get back on, but maybe just had a little bit of a technical issue there. Um, that's pretty cool. Like, so the A group is one of the smallest, so they're definitely going to be up against it this week. But I also have to just quickly check something. This is where it's helpful to have Lino because I can get him to talk while I do something else. But he is not here, so I cannot do that. And I don't know how. I don't have a production crew either, which is a shame. Anyway, yeah, let's quickly check in with Zwift Power and see exactly what it is predicting between all of these groups. There is always live, kind of like a live result, which is gives you predictions for when each group should probably come in. Of course, not all the riders normally are on Zwift Power, so it can always be taken a little bit of a pinch of salt. However, I'm pretty sure every single A racing and probably every B is probably like more or less they're gonna be on Zwift Power. So at least for the A's and the B's, I normally think it's going to be fairly accurate. D's and C's, normally not so much. But let's have a look. Well, it is currently predicting, Zwift is currently predicting that the C's would take the win by quite some margin. It's currently predicting that the C's would win by 1 minute, which is substantial. I'd be very surprised if that is what actually happens on the day. Yeah, that being said, it has literally just updated, and the C's, the B's, and the A's actually now are quite close. So, all finishing around about 36 minutes. It reckons the C's would get it with 36:21, the B's with 36:45, and the A's 36:53. So you can see just how close this is likely to be between all of those three groups. The D's, however, again, less of them actually appearing on Zwift Power. So they are currently looking at 37 minutes. So they would probably be like a minute or 30, even 30 seconds, 20 seconds, like later than the other groups. So even looking at that, what it's currently predicting seems to suggest it's going to be incredibly close at the finish yet again. But the proof will be in the pudding. So yeah, we'll just hang with the A's for a little bit longer. Just to say again, thank you to Michael Hutchinson for joining the race. See whether the doctor can get the win. Whether isn't Aaron? Aaron, aren't you studying medicine? So which one is it going to be? The doctor or the junior doctor? Well, my wife liked that one anyway. All right, we're going to jump forwards. Just try and take an eye on what those gaps are. Again, it's going to be a bit hard. It looks like it's about 2 minutes between the A's and the B. No, God, it's all nonsense when you're trying. It's all nonsense when you're trying to judge it on what's appearing on the side here. So the D's are still out there, are in the lead. You can see on the mini map that the C's are not far behind. The D's really suffering here from not managing to stick together on some of those inclines. This is any sort of incline in one of these races is gonna be difficult. But I typically have worked really hard to try and find routes which have less incline as possible. In the past, I have I have found some which have more climbing than others, and everybody's hated me. I'm still want to do one of the London courses with Box Hill, and probably I'll make the course a little bit shorter, so the course ends on the top of Box Hill. Because normally all the groups end up kind of congregating on that climb, and typically the A's end up getting the win. But that's because the race normally finishes not at the top, but it finishes in London. So I will be bringing that course back because I really love that one for the chase. But everybody hates it when there's any sort of climbing. But it's pan flat until you actually get to that point. So expect to see London and Box Hill coming soon to the chase. The A's will be licking their lips collectively. Very weird sound to hear a group of people licking their lips at the same time, like some weird Bulgarian orchestra. My friend Steph will actually be able to confirm whether that's a real thing or not. So yes, I just saw in the chat that Jim Haysom is saying, "Come on, bees." The ride category, not the animal. Although maybe he is a massive bee fan, and I also am cheering on the bees in general because yeah, it sounds like they're not doing too well. Bee population in massive decline across Europe, which affects all of our harvests. So I say, come on, the bees. And that's my partridge moment of this particular stream. There will be others. So let's just hop back. So let's say those are the G's. 40 seconds, it looks like, from this D group to the C's, which I would say, as far as the D's are doing, is pretty good because they've really struggled by the seam of things on those little inclines, and the pack, the C pack, has been, and that's not the political broadcaster in the US. That is this pack of riders, but they have, I would say, foolishly shed off some vital skin, which is about 20 riders, which would have been able to help them out. So not in the true spirit of the chase race, I would say, to lose so many riders. But we did see early on that they just seemed to get like split up on the very first climb. I don't know why. It's a little bit odd because, as I say, it's 4%. Like, I'm not talking like, it's not the Alp. It's not Von 2. It was a 4% incline. I know it's different because there is that dirt resistance, but still, I'm very surprised to see the group be decimated, to be honest, for want of a better word. So yeah, we are just coming up to the halfway mark, and we can see this group of C's. Hard to see exactly how many there are. You can just see the beacon of the D's off in the distance. These riders out here won't be able to see that beacon. It's only because I am in the deep end that we're able to kind of see that beacon, but it gives you a really good idea of what is the distance currently between the front of the C's and that D group. So the beacon's just currently disappeared for some particular reason. I have no idea why, but hey, Zwift. But they're really not far away now. The gap is about 20 seconds, so we're just going to hang tight with these C's because they are going to get the catch within probably about a minute or so. So yeah, so we're going to hang above. So again, or they have just hit some sand here. Awkward. So this is going to slow them down a little bit. Look, you can see now from the aerial view what that distance is looking like. It is very, very close. What's Jim saying? Jim's hopped in again, and he says, must be guessed first timer riders off the front. Coalition riders know the rules of the pack. Together is faster. Oh, you're not wrong, Jim. But the C's were, as I say, stacked with riders today. Very, Very surprised to see quite so many. Whoa, a little bit of sprinting. They must smell the D's right now. Come on. That's it. Oi. Let's just have a look to see. Yeah, they will. Those riders at the front will be seeing the D riders right there. So the catch is going to happen, whether you like it or not. Hopefully, some of these Ds will be able to hang with the Cs. So right about now, if you're a D rider, you want to be pushing like just that bit harder to stay in with the C's as they nom all the way through the group. Because yeah, this is your best chance now of staying in this race is to try and hang with these C's who are now at the front. Um, and yeah, you never know. You might even push yourself that little bit harder. Maybe you increase your FTP, which we have seen happen quite a lot, especially when we were running this in the pandemic. We saw a lot of riders actually setting new FTPs in the chase race, particularly as well because they're pushing so hard. They're in a group which was staying together, so they could actually they weren't getting dropped. So I think that helps a lot, especially that you are pretty much in the entire race, and so that really pushes people to hit new FTPs. And of course, if you are in a group which does get caught, then you're kind of like incentivized to go that little bit harder just to stay with that group. So if you are interested in increasing your FTP, you don't want to do an FTP test, then a chase race like this one is a great one to actually do that in. So if you do actually increase your FTP in one of these races, please do let us know. We are available in all of the usual places. And typically you can find us at coalition_e-racing. I think all of the links you can find on our website, Coalition Racing. So there's no E in that. Coalitionracing.com. Or, of course, if you're on our Discord, which you'll be able to find in the Zwift event link. Otherwise, it's discord.gg/coalition. And boing, there it is. On screen right now, in case you are wondering. Again, I've seen some more people have joined on the stream. If you are watching and you want to join in the chat, please do send in your messages or questions or abuse. I'll take anything, to be honest. I don't mind. I'm not thin-skinned. So if there's something you absolutely hate about the chase race, then fine. Any engagement, please. I'm not fussy. So here we are. We are in with the C's. I shouldn't have opened up that Pandora's box, but it's too late now. We're in with the C's. There is broad daylight between them and the B's. We cannot see the B's on the screen if we look back here. Oh, I see the chat symbol is lighting up now. Okay. So let's just wing it back to see where the B's are. And so the B's still looking like they're in good numbers. I would say they are. Maybe they're about the same as the C's. They could be a little bit bigger, but I think the group is around about the same. Although saying that, the A's I can see Dr. Hutch and Aaron are just 20 seconds back off of these B's. So I think we're going to see a tag team here with the A's and the B's teaming up against the C's for the win. Would not surprise me at all. So I think it would be very wise of them to do that. So I think looking at this gap then, we're going to hop in with those A's. Well, the A's, it's just 3 of them. Oh, okay. Okay. Very interesting. So it is a small team time trial now for these 3 riders looking to team with the B's. What happened to the rest of the A's? Did they just obliterate them or something? Very strange. I'm not sure why. Listen, there is a is it a B rider? There's a B rider here. He's got a disc wheel on, got an aero helmet on. Can they hang with the 3A riders? They have just bridged over. So we have got ourselves a team time trial right here. Let's see if they can orchestrate some proper pulls on the front so that they can make it over to this B group in good time. Have just lost one of the riders off the back though. There you go. As soon as you bring in a rider from another group and bish bash bosh, they get a little bit fragmented. Let's just quickly hop to the chat. I can say Roger is here and he says, "Hey Reese, great commentary as always." Love it. That's the kind of abuse I like. And I guess there was a D going with the C group up that hill. That is an outstanding effort indeed. Anybody who is riding with a category above their own deserves all the credit. Oh, I really needed that sip of water. So here we are. We are going to see the A's joining some of the... Wait a minute. There's Paul from the D's. So I think they're going to ride through this group. It is not the group they were looking for. And so they're going to have to keep on pushing to bridge over to the B's proper. I think they are B's and C's. There are some C's still in there. There is some orchestration going on, I can see, to try and get organized. The B's, I mean, if these A riders, they get on with the B's, they're going to have a good chance. They're going to have a good chance. So, but it's too hard to say. Zwift Power, what do you think? Well, Zwift Power's times, I would say a little bit more over the place. The D's do seem to be out of contention by this prediction. It currently is predicting, Zwift Power is predicting that the A's are going to get it, which is quite ballsy, to be honest. I think that, like, it says currently, like, the A's will beat the B's even by 40 seconds. I find that very hard to believe, seeing as I think these A's are probably going to need the B's. But we're going to see. The A's are just coming through. Well, you can see the doctor is just slicing through the B's there with no care, no bedside manner whatsoever. But he has, I don't know if he's sat up. I don't know if the B's have just been galvanized into action, but they have hopped onto the A's wheels here. Probably the most sensible thing they could do, to be honest. I think there needs to be an unholy alliance between the B's and the A's here. Whether that's what happens, we'll have to see. But the gap to the C's is currently around 40 seconds as it stands. And I say this is one of the shortest routes we've done. So there is not much road left. That being said, this is not smooth sailing. It is not tarmac. It is virtual dirt. And we all know that virtual dirt provides more resistance. And that means that if you're pushing out more power, you are going to traverse over these kind of sections a little bit quicker. So that is going to play into the hands of the higher categories, to be honest. But as I say, there is not a lot of distance left to cover in this final stretch. I mean, the course in total, we're doing 2 laps of fine and sandy. It's 21 kilometers. So if we hop forward to those C's, they're coming up to 18 kilometers. So 3 kilometers left to go. And there is about 35 seconds between the C's and the BA hybrids. So it is going to be mightily close. Who is your money on? Again, hit up the chat and tell us your predictions. I can see Roger is here again. He's saying, go with the A's, Holly. I think Holly's a bit far back, isn't she? If you've spotted her, I haven't seen her. I guess we are watching the C's currently. So, Holly, if you are hanging in there, do it. Do as Roger says. Wait a minute. I'm all over the place. Jim says Aaron is taking no prisoners with his charge, but the bees are hanging in. They are indeed. And Roger says that's going to be a great finish, I reckon. Well, I totally agree with you. I think it's going to be incredibly close. Forget what Zwiftpower says. I think it's going to be a lot closer than it was. Zwiftpower's predicting like gaps of like 20, 40 seconds. I think it's going to be down to the wire. And it is on like Mayong. I haven't said that for a very long time. A game I've never played. I once found it in my my dad's bedroom. I didn't know what this game was. Why the hell he had this game? I literally have never seen him play it. I don't know. Probably he was a banker, so it's probably for some dodgy stuff, or it was one of those dodgy gifts. I don't know. But wait, is that that's not the bees behind the seas, is it? Or is it? Is that what we're about to witness? Oh, sweet Jesus. This is it. This is the catch. It happened all of a sudden. I really was not expecting it to happen quite so soon. So here we are. The AB hybrids are now consuming some of the Cs. And if you're a C, what are you going to do? Are you going to try and chip off the front? You're going to try and just hang tough with these guys? I don't really know. I think well, somebody has gone off the front. They dropped their feather power up. Griff from the Vipers has gone off. So this is it. The catch has happened a lot sooner than I thought, to be honest. A lot sooner than anybody thought, especially Zwiftpower. Oh no, or maybe Zwiftpower was right and I should shut up. Maybe I get Zwiftpower to do this live stream and I should just go and be a results engine. Who knows? But there you go. Okay, the catch has happened. Quite unglaublich. Well, the A's will be very happy. They've had it, or not had it, their own way for quite some time. We're in with Aaron, who is the ride leader, and he's one of the coalition beta riders. I can see a Roger also just hopping in the chat. Said, Donkey Kong? No, it is not on like Donkey Kong. It is on like Mayong, the little kind of Chinese domino game, I think. And Jim Haysom saying, come on, Fred. Yes, come on, Fred. So we're in the last kilometer right now. Let's head back to the action. We're going to catch this one, guys, and see for ourselves who is going to take this win. Is it going to be the Doctor? He's already got the green jersey. He is leading out from the front. He is representing Cycling Weekly. So he is, but he's in coalition colors this week. Aaron's not going to be having any of it. Aaron's already opening up his sprint. He doesn't, well, his avatar's not, but he is. He's doing 9 watts per kilo. He's putting the hammer down. Who is going to react? It's hard to say at this moment. Let's have a quick look behind. There is a reaction from Pritchard. Pritchard there. Not sure if Pritchard's going to make it, but has dropped an aero power up. Pritchard could be the one to overtake. It's the last 300 meters. Oh, Pritchard representing Wales. Cymru and Biff. Oh no. Aaron is hit back. Aaron has just launched his feather power up, and it seems to have done the job. Out of nowhere. Who knew that you could sprint with a feather power up? Certainly not I. But there we go. I think it is going to be, I think this is going to be actually the official finish line, but it is Aaron who is going to stay away. Pritchard in second. Some lovely sprinting at the finish there. Lovely stuff. I think it was Griff did actually stay away. We didn't really notice it at the time, but Griff did stay away for quite a considerable amount of time. So fair play to Griff. Um, we're going to watch as many riders come across the line as possible. Because it's like one of these virtual kind of banners, I wasn't sure where the actual finish line was, but luckily for me, it didn't matter at all, because Aaron did manage to hang on to it. I nearly called it a little bit too soon, to be honest, which would have been very awkward. But yeah, just goes to show you. Was Griff? I think Griff was a C rider. No, Griff was a B rider, I think. So it looks like that Griff actually attacked on the climb from the B group, and it kind of wasn't spotted. And he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for these meddling kids. So fair play to Griff. Griff is also the name of my cat. So it is weird to cheer on Griff in any sort of race because he's quite lazy, so he doesn't do any racing. We're just going to watch the last few riders coming across the line. Just to sum up the whole experience, Roger says, "Oh woo," which I think does pretty much cover the whole emotional experience of a chase race. Let's just where are these riders on this course? What is this, by the way? This is a power station, isn't it? Is it supposed to be like is it like a Liège? It looks like Liège, but the roads are a lot nicer and there's less things falling apart. Okay, that's the last of the riders we're gonna see. But there you can see the doctor in his green sprint jersey. Fair play. Thanks a lot to Dr. Hutch for joining us for the chase race. Please do come back again. Super cool to have you there. Hutch, not known for his sprinting, I think, but he is a powerhouse and did a great job of driving that group. So he was instrumental in the A's getting a win here with Aaron. Again, getting another win, a vital win actually. If you consider the leaderboard, then Moritz was slowly chasing Aaron on the leaderboard. Aaron just says here as well, he says Hutch very important. Yeah, I can imagine so. It definitely looked like he was a critical point, especially when the group ended up being so small. So yeah, Aaron dedicating that win to Hutch. And again, well done to Aaron for getting the win on the day and say pushing out that gap again. Where's Moritz? Why is Moritz not here? If Moritz had got the win, he might have actually overtaken Aaron on the chase race leaderboard, but not to be. So Aaron extends his lead. So congrats again to Aaron and also to everybody who raced today in the Chase to the Underground. The chase race happens every single Friday at 8 p.m. CET. We always have a really good turnout of riders, but more the merrier, especially when we ran this last year. We'd have when we first started it, I think the first one we ever did had something like 600 riders or something. It was insane. And then we were averaging around about 200 riders. This year, I don't know if the overall Zwift numbers have dipped down a bit, but we're around about 100, 120 riders most weeks. So the more the merrier. Certainly, though, if more riders turn up, then I have to start making gaps bigger. So at least at the moment, the spacing that I've got set up for the races seems to be pretty much spot on. So, but yeah, If you want, please do join us again. The next week's event will probably pop up on Zwift in the companion app or in the Zwift club, the Coalition Zwift club, tomorrow. So you can already sign up for it. If you're not interested in racing or you're just not available, then I'm nearly always here on the live stream on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ Recent Coalition, that's it. Although some of you might be watching on other channels, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, but Twitch is the place to watch it. But yeah, I will be back again next week. Possibly I'll be joined by Lenal or somebody else from the Coalition who fancies having a bit of a chinwag whilst we're racing. I'm still trying to convince OJ Borg that he should make his return to Zwift racing commentary, but I'm not sure I quite have the same allure as Zwift themselves. We'll see. I'll throw him a couple of toffees his way and see if he's interested in joining. I'm still trying to get a game of Call of Duty with him, so we'll see. We'll see. If I can catch him on Warzone, then I'll try and convince him to join this. There may be actually, it won't be this where you actually hear kind of a commentary with OJ. It would actually be on whilst we're shooting people, which is very different to what's happened right now. Although I have to say, Aaron did go for the kill and get it quite convincingly. There you go. That's my segue, my final segue of the night. And I am off to try and parch my very kind of dry throat after talking constantly. This is why it does help to have a commentator, because they can take up some of the talking rather than me having to do it like I'm kind of talking like I'm at a horse race. Anyway, I've gone off track. It is time to say goodbye. Thank you to everybody who raced to and watched and commented. I always super appreciate it. And we will see you again next week. Ciao for now.